Yeah, good morning, my dear friends. This is P. Krishnamurthy, lecturer in English, working at Government Degree College for Women, WANAPARTHY. A very, very good morning and welcome to our video class. And today we are so happy that we are going to learn very important topic, a topic of today, a topic of most of the young graduates coming from universities, coming from professional colleges, the moment they just come out of from those institutes or colleges, they find this is very important topic for them because soon after they become unemployed, immediately they just approach any organizations or any companies or maybe corporate companies or private companies or maybe government sector. They are going to have the very important terms. Come on, why don't you submit your resume? Why don't you submit your curriculum vitae? Why don't you submit your biodata? The employers, they just keep on asking all these young graduates, submit this one, submit this one, submit resume, submit curriculum vitae, submit this biodata. And young graduates, after all, they have studied all the academic studies, they have written the examinations coming out from that. So educational institutions, this is a new experience. This is in fact a strange experience. A very unknown terms. They're being used by these employers to provide any employment for these young people. However, it might be the young people are so dynamic and they are very, very eager to know the things very well. Within a short time, they are going to capture the wonderful results. They are going to capture wonderful opportunities, and things are going on in our India, and our Indian young men and women are so dynamic in securing and acquiring all the qualities, and that's why I would like to make it very clear for all these people. Resume, curriculum vitae, and biodata today, the topic is what do you understand by resume? And there might be similar, there might be some very, very differences among these terms. They appear very similar, but there must be a very slight and subtle difference from resume to curriculum vitae and from curriculum vitae to this biodata. So very often, and there has been confusion, a little confusion. So among these technical terms, in a job sector, so the undermention ought to be presented. So whenever any young graduate goes to any organizations, immediately they are going to present their job skills. They just ask you, come on, you write on a sheet of paper and write whatever the skills that you have, whether they may be academic skills or maybe job-oriented skills or technical skills or experience and social states about your personal data, everything that is going to be just present on the paper and just hand over that one to the personal in charge. And maybe in the next week that you are going to have an interview, you are going to have group discussion. This kind of the ideas may be given by the employer to appoint any suitable young man or young lady in that organizations. So in a job sector or in an employment sector, young graduates are supposed to know the differences, subtle differences among these technical terms like resume, curriculum vitae, and biodata. So presentation. So in a job sector, the undermention ought to be presented. What are the undermention? Presentation of job skills. So maybe 2 decades back or maybe some 3 decades back, it was not like that. The fashion of the day, just they used to write something. They used to write that since a person has completed MA, completed BTech degree, completed MTech degree, and secure that A grade or maybe first class or distinction, and asking or requesting that employee to provide an employment in that organization. And that was the day, maybe some 2 decades back or 3 decades back. But the scenario is changed. A lot of competition is there. Nearly 2 lakh engineering students are coming into job market, and they are competing one another. And otherwise, and here we see that on the other hand, we find that all these BA, BCom, BSc or traditional conventional courses. So the students doing conventional courses, MSc, MA, and BA, BSc like that, they're also coming in huge number. There will be cutthroat competition. So in securing employment in our present scenario, that's why we need to know, or the students need to know, all the candidates need to know how to present job skills. how best to present the job skills, how best to present your academic qualifications on a sheet of paper, how best to project your technical skills, how best you express your experience so on the paper, how best you are going to present your personal data like that, your name, age, date of birth, and your hobbies and all those things, they are going to be presented on a sheet of paper, So by examining all the particulars that have been presented by you on a sheet of paper, and so the employer, they are going to be so attracted by the way how you present. That's why there are many ways of techniques. There are many methods of presentation skills today, and some people they choose resumes, and some people they choose curriculum vitae. Some choose biodatas in to present their information. There are very so different ways of presentation. One presentation differs from another presentation. It's already I made it very clear that no, there has been cutthroat competition to get the attention of the employee. So one A, so a candidate A presents all his and all her so information on sheet of paper in one manner. The other person, maybe a B candidate, comes and presents his information in a very, very attractive manner, so which is quite distinctive, which is quite different from the previous one. And that is the way how in every walk of life, in every mold, in every step, there has been competition to create impression upon the minds of these employers who are going to provide employment to the young graduates. And that is the thing here. The ways of presentations differ from one person to another person. That has to be taken into account. Every young graduate who needs employment in the present job sector or employment sector, one needs to know how best you present, how best you are going to present your technical academic skills on so paper, how best to differ in presenting your skills, and that is going to matter very important. Only to present all these skills, to present your information on a sheet of paper, So nowadays, we have three varieties of presentations. They are called resumes, curriculum vitae, and other biodatas are there. Presentation of information through resume, curriculum vitae, otherwise known as CV. And sometimes, the employer may ask you, come on, my dear candidate, you submit CV and just go away and meet me maybe in the next week, So some people, they do not have any understanding about this CV. What do you understand by CV? CV is nothing but it's a curriculum vitae. Some people, they call that one CV. Some people, they call that in full form like curriculum vitae. But we have to be very clever enough, understanding all these terms, It's not mere getting any first class degree, second class degree, or maybe a distinction degree coming out from any university or any reputed institute for any professional education. But it's not like that, you have to suit yourself to the employment scenario, and that is the one thing that you have to know about it. Yeah, the first one is, as already we have talked about the three varieties of presentations about your technical, academic, and your personal data, everything, we have resumes, we have curriculum vitae, and we have biodata. So let us know one by one very clearly in what way resume differs from curriculum vitae, in what way curriculum vitae differs from this biodata. So once you know what is meant by resume, what is meant by biodata, what is meant by curriculum vitae, then the candidate is very clear which is going to be presented according to the demand, according to the situation. Sometimes some companies, they ask curriculum vitae. Sometimes when you go to some other organizations which are otherwise known as American-based organizations, so they demand, you present a resume, they say like that. But you can't present CV. When the employer asks you to present resume, you have to present your information in the form of resume. When you go to any, maybe European countries, European country-based organizations, they will ask you, why don't you present your CV and curriculum? You can't present resume when you are asked to present CV, because information will be same, but the way of presentation differs from resume and curriculum vitae. Sometimes, in our government sector, maybe in our Indian sector, so people, they ask you to present your biodata. Biodata, generally, these kind of the presentation of our information will be found only in our countries like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, in all these Asian countries only we can find this one. So however it might be, every individual is supposed to know what is meant by resume, what is meant by biodata, what is meant by curriculum vitae, once a person has got thorough understanding and thorough principles, thorough features of resume and biodata and curriculum vitae, then you can make out the difference between one to other one. So let us start very happily what is meant by resume. So now I'm going to talk about in fast. So resume. Resume is a French word. Dear friends, resume is not our Indian word. Resume is not an English word. Resume is a French word. Resume means summary. You see here, resume means summary. When any candidate, when any job seeker presents resume, though he talks about technical term resume, it's nothing but summary of him, nothing but summary of that candidate who is going to apply for a job, who is going to appear for an interview, who is going to compete for that specified post. So resume means it's a summary about yourself. It's not, though it's a technical term, though it sounds very high, but don't be alarmed by that technical term. No, it's taken from French language. Resume is a French word and it means a summary. And what summary? Summary means it's all your career, educational, technical, personal, all those things, personal information that is going to be presented in the format of resume. Let us see what are the features of resume. What are the features of resume that we have to understand? It is a summary of qualifications. It is a summary of qualifications. In a resume, what are you going to study? What are you going to see? That's very important. In resume, so fundamentally we are going to find out the qualifications of the candidate. Suppose a candidate has done BTech, MTech, or he might have completed his doctorate degree, and naturally you are going to find these BTech, MTech, and PhD. If a candidate has completed MA and PhD, you are going to find master in English and maybe doctorate in English language and literature. Like that, it's a summary of your qualification. So in resume, you are going to present summary of qualifications. Of course, you may present the same information in biodata or maybe in curriculum vitae. But so you try to understand what is this one. It is a summary of qualifications. It is summary of skills. They are very important in modern times. In modern employment scenario, in the modern employment platform, skills are very, very important than your hard skills. Hard skills are those that we gain from educational institutions in the form of certificates, maybe BTech, maybe MTech, maybe MA, maybe MSc. All these are all the hard skills that you write and get divisions, get your grades. But so it is summary of skills. What kind of skills that you have? When you apply for the post of a receptionist in any company, you need to have communicative skills. You need to have communication skills, not in one language. Suppose you are working in Hyderabad, you are supposed to have good communicative skills in English, in Urdu, in Hindi, in Telugu. Then only you are going to be called the best employee in that organization. That's why skills are going to be matter very, very important in securing jobs for the candidates who are aspiring to get higher positions. In central government jobs, definitely they are going to test whether the candidate is equipped with national language and international language. When you know that you are able to communicate in Hindi, you are able to communicate fluently in English, I think that is going to matter very important. That is going to be a brighter part in your presentation. That's why, not only educational qualifications, but also skills are going to be presented, not one skill. The summary of skills, again, it is a summary of experience. It's a summary of experience. In present employment scenario, that we find that young people, they just keep on changing from one organization to another organization. Most of them, they don't work for 10 years in one company because they want to change. They want to change. They want to shift from one company to another company because they are going to get a lucrative salary. So for their skills, for their experience, for their technical skills in another company. That's the reason they don't want to stick on in one job. That's why all the time they are well versed with resumes only. In resumes, we find qualifications, we find the summary of skills, we find the summary of experience, because experience is going to be an important so element in the selection for any job. Again, resume is a brief statement in one or two A4 size paper. Resume is not going to be written in one A4 size. It is going to be written in one or two or three A4 size papers. So you are going to present about yourself in elaborate manner, not in objective manner, but you are going to present all your qualifications and your skills, your technical skills, your experience, your personal details, and all those things that you are going to present in a very detailed manner, maybe in one paper, in two papers, in three papers. So definitely in so A4 size papers. That size is also mentioned because they are very, very particular. So resume is invited in the American or Canada based companies only. That's why they always see the scrupulousness, the assertiveness of the candidates suitable to the job or not. They are going to find this quality also, whether this candidate is going to be suitable to our job, whether he maintains all these things correctly, exactly or not. And that is very important also. So by simply presenting a resume and just coming back and just feeling that you are going to get that selection because you are the topper in that so educational qualification, it's not like that. Sometimes they see everything. They see everything. Whether you may be topper in academic qualification, but when you don't possess the skills, you may be rejected. You may be rejected. That's the thing. That's the reason. Next, it generally uses bullets and avoids narrative. In resume, you don't explain, you don't narrate the things. You can't describe the things in paragraph wise. You just use bullets. Every bullet for one skill, every bullet for one qualification, every bullet for one experience. So bullets are used in resumes, not they don't even opt that narrativeness. It is usually written for particular job. It is usually written for particular jobs. So when you are applying for sales manager, you have to create a separate resume for sales manager. Whenever you are appearing for the post of purchasing manager, and you have to change your resume according to the post that you are applying for. That's why. So it generally uses bullets and avoids narrative. It is usually written for a particular job only. So as per the job, as per the employment, you need to change the resume, and accordingly, then only it is going to be a suitable resume for that particular job only. It is not a general summary about your qualification, about your skills, about your experience, about your every information. It is not a general thing that you have prepared it and just keep on sending to all the companies whichever is offering any job. It's not like that. For every particular job, you have to create, you have to mend, you have to mold, you have to present that resume accordingly to that particular job only. It highlights the skills that are required. So in resume, you are going to focus the skills that are required. What kind of skills are required by that company? That you have to present very, very in a focused manner. Don't write whatever that is not needed to that company, that is not needed to that particular post. You try to project, you try to highlight the skills that are required. It is suited for people with a previous experience. So resumes are generally meant for those people who have got earlier experience. So those people who have got enough experience, if they want to switch over from one job to another job, from one company to another company, definitely resumes are going to be so very suitable ways of presentation, and they are going to be matter very important. It focuses mainly on skills rather than on qualifications. Remember, this is very, very bottom line sentence in resumes. It focuses mainly on skills rather than on qualifications. Skills are very important than your qualifications. You may be BTech or MTech, you may be MA or MSc, you may be doctorate, whatever qualification you possess. Okay, we celebrate that one. We give honor for your so higher degree, but so skills are going to be very important. So in resumes, so in resume, what else is going to be projected? What is going to be highlighted? Skills are going to be highlighted. You just keep in your mind whenever you take a piece of paper, whenever you want to begin to write any resume, you just keep in your mind that so skills are going to be presented very, very brighter manner. So because this is a resume, so qualifications you are going to mention, but more than qualification, so skills are going to be presented in an elaborate way and in a very so interesting manner. That's the reason it focuses mainly on skills rather than on qualifications. It is used mostly in USA and Canada. Resume is very popular in countries like USA and Canada. That's the reason all American-based companies, all Canada-based companies in India, they always keep on asking, come on, submit your resume. Submit your resume. Have you submitted your resume? I think in your resume, it's not mentioned. You say that you know English, Hindi, and Telugu, but it's not mentioned in your resume. And some people know who do not have any knowledge about resume. They simply come out and walk out from that interview hall and say that he may ask other person, what do you understand by resume? This is very typical question. This is very, very ridiculous also. If somebody asks, what is meant by resume? So resumes are mostly suitable for American companies, for Canada-based companies only. So I just say that you have got elaborate explanation about this resume. Shall we move on to the next one? Next one, next way of presentation of our information. What is the next one? It is nothing but curriculum vitae. This is curriculum vitae. Just like resume, this is also one type of presentation of your information. In resumes, we are going to focus, highlight, project only skills. So they are going to be so presented to the American-based companies or Canada-based companies. Resumes are popular in America and in Canada. So coming to this curriculum vitae, so CV, otherwise known as CV. Curriculum vitae is a Latin word. Resume is a French word. Curriculum vitae is a Latin word. It means course of life. Curriculum vitae, CV means course of life. What do you understand by this course of life? It means to say, so your career, course of life means career. So your career, your style of life, your career, so in your life. So that is the thing that you have to understand it. Not that you can't take all the time grammatical meaning. You have to understand situational meaning also. Curriculum vitae, otherwise known as CV, it means it is a Latin word and it means course of life. What do you understand by course of life? So let us understand the style of life, the career that you have, so your employment life, all these things that are referred regarding this curriculum vitae. Let's know the features of curriculum vitae. Which features are going to be presented in curriculum vitae? In what way curriculum vitae differs from resume? That we have to know. Unless until you know the difference between resume and curriculum vitae, and from curriculum vitae to biodata, we don't gain thorough understanding of these technical terms like resume, curriculum vitae, and so this biodata. So let us study the features of curriculum vitae. It's also a summary of qualification. Yeah. Just like resume, it's also a summary of qualification, skills, and experience. Yeah. Here also in curriculum vitae in CV also you are going to find so qualification, skills, and experience. There also you are going to present your qualifications, skills, and experience. But in curriculum vitae, it is more longer and more detailed. Remember, it is more longer and more detailed. Whereas resume is pointed. It is not a narrative. It is not in the form of narrative, but when you come to curriculum vitae, so here it is more longer and more detailed. You are going to present your information, maybe academic qualifications, maybe about your skills, maybe about your experience, but you present information regarding these three things in a very longer manner, in a very detailed way. It provides academic qualifications. It provides academic qualifications and professional experience. So here, so focus is likely on your academic qualifications, so and professional experience also. So it provides academic qualifications and professional experience. So suppose you are going to be, suppose a post is notified. The name of the post is so general manager or accounts manager or financial manager. So financial manager, accounting manager, accounts manager. Suppose a post is there. So accounts manager. So what kind of experience is going to be thoroughly checked there? Whether this particular person has got that professional experience of examining the accounts or not. That is called professional experience. Here, communicative skills are not going to be tested. Here, your singing skills are not going to be tested. Here, dancing skills are not going to be tested. Here, your writing skills are not going to be tested. Here, accounting skills are going to be tested because you are going to be appointed as accounting manager. So what kind of skills are required for accounting manager? Definitely, he must be well versed in accounts, and that is called professional experience. So it provides academic qualifications and professional experience. Next, coming to, it also includes other information in curriculum vitae. So it also includes such as hobbies, awards, honors, and etc. You see this one? In resume, you don't have any room for hobbies, awards, honors. But here in curriculum vitae, you are going to present your personal data too, such as hobbies. What are your hobbies? You are given permission to write about your hobbies in detailed manner in curriculum vitae. Awards, what kind of awards that you gain, what kind of honors that you got. So detailed presentation of regarding your hobbies, awards, and honors are going to be presented here. Next, number 2, it is at least 2 or 3 pages long, and sometimes even more also. This curriculum vitae, since it is to be written in a very detailed manner, so it will be 2 or 3, or sometimes it exceeds also. So I just say that it will be more than 2 pages and more than 2 pages. It's not going to be presented in one paper, but whereas resume may be presented in one paper, it may be extended up to 2 pages. But whereas when you come to curriculum vitae, so minimum 2 pages, and it may be extended up to 4, 5 pages also. That's why here, what is the reason why it is going to be extended? You may ask me, because here you are going to present about your hobbies, awards, rewards, and honors, and you are going to present your personal information, and all your skills are going to be dealt in a very detailed manner, and that is the reason that you take much space to present all your things. It is at least 2 or 3 pages long. It displays general talents rather than specific skills. Remember here, it displays general talents rather than specific skills. Resume is going to highlight your specific skills, but whereas curriculum vitae, it is going to highlight and focus on general skills rather than specific skills. They're going to see whether the person is good at communication, whether the person is good in moving all the members, whether this person has got soft skills, whether the person possesses interpersonal skills, whether he has possessed this problem solving skills, whether he is creative in giving answer, whether he is punctual, what is the way that he talks, how does he move, how does he behave whenever he doesn't have any answer for the question that is posed. So all the general talents are going to be tested rather than your specific skills. So specific skills are also going to be presented, but first priority will be given to your general talents only, because they would like to say good humanitarian, good member in the society, good member in a company. When you are working in any company, you are not only one person who is working for that company. There might be hundreds of the people working for the better growth of that company. So there will be an occasion where you have to take, where you have to take, where you have to seek information from others, where you have to take help from others, where you have to take assistance from others. So do you possess that interpersonal relations or not? Do you possess that communication skills or not? Are you friendly with other members or not? So do you have that stress management skills or not? All these things are going to be taken into account in the category of general talents than your specific skills. It provides information about degrees. Remember this one. It provides information about degrees, jobs, professional skills that are acquired. It is not going to leave any matter. Whatever you have achieved, either a student or an employee in any company, all the skills, all the awards, rewards, jobs, everything that is going to be mentioned in curriculum vitae, that is the reason it is going to be extended up to 4 or 5 pages. Whereas in resume, you don't find that it is going to be ended with 1 page, or it may be extended up to 2 pages only. So, but whereas curriculum vitae may be extended maybe up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages also, depending on the qualification that you possess, depending on the experience that you have, depending on the skills that you acquired. So all these things are going to be very important. So in the presentation in curriculum vitae, CV is more suitable. That's the reason I say, my dear young friends, whenever you are applying for any job in any corporate sector, in any private sector, the first choosable thing for presenting your information is nothing but curriculum vitae. Curriculum vitae is more suitable for fresh graduates. Curriculum vitae is more suitable for fresh graduates. So all the fresh graduates have to select this presentation skill, that is called, select this written presentation or this curriculum vitae to present all your qualifications, all your hobbies, all your awards, all your honors. You find a lot of scope in curriculum vitae to present everything that is related to you and your personal career, to your job career, to your experience, related to your experience, related to your awards, related to your honors. Everything that is going to be an important thing in curriculum vitae. So CV is more common in European countries, whereas resume is very popular, is very common in America and Canada, but whereas CV is more common in European countries and Australian states. That's the reason that you have to be very careful. When you go to European country, when you go to England, when you go to Spain, when you go to Italy, when you go to Germany, when you go to Switzerland, when you go to Ireland, so you have to present curriculum vitae, because though there the people are better focused to curriculum vitae. They are going to study everything, whatever that belongs to you, whatever the information that is related to you. They are going to study each and every item that belongs to you. And that's the reason they assess your talent, they assess your skill, they assess your knowledge. By assessing all your skills, knowledge, qualification, they provide employment. That is the idea behind this curriculum vitae. Why these people, why the organizations working in European countries, why they prefer to take this one curriculum vitae. And the thing is, they would like to test everything that is related to a candidate who is in need of a job, who is seeking employment in a job sector. So in that way, we have discussed resume, curriculum vitae. The third one is biodata. Let's move on to biodata. So, biodata. What do you understand by biodata? It is a short form of biographical data. Biodata is nothing but it's a short form of biographical data, all total information about your biography. It is an old-fashioned term for resume or CV. Nowadays, people talking about resume and CV, but maybe 2 decades ago or maybe 3 decades ago, it was biodata only. When I was a student, so people used to talk about present your biodata and just try to appear next week and we'll think about your employment in our company. But for the last 10 years, that everywhere we are going to see resume and CV. So biodata is a short form of biographical data. Biodata is an old-fashioned term for resume or CV. Now we are going to study the features of biodata. The features of biodata. What features are there in biodata? It emphasizes on personal information. Now you see here. Now you see in biodata, more emphasis is given on personal information such as date of birth, religion, nationality, residence, marital status. Whereas in resume, so they are going to focus on your skills. In curriculum vitae, they are going to focus on your qualification, experience, and your skills too, about your hobbies and personal data. But when you come to this one, when you come to biodata, the much emphasis is on personal information such as date of birth, religion, nationality, residence, marital status. You see this one? It is more a personal, I think so. But personal information is also very important when you choose to write. When you choose to present your information in the form of biodata, definitely you have to write about your personal information because emphasis is given on personal information. Next, second, such a detailed personal information is not included in resume or in CV. This is very bottom line sentence. Such detailed personal information is not included in resume or in CV. Of course, in CV and resume, we write our name. We don't write our date of birth, we don't write our religion, we don't write any nationality, we don't mention our nationality, we don't mention our marital status also, both in resume and curriculum vitae. But whereas here in biodata, you are going to present full information, full personal information, so including your date of birth, religion, nationality, residence, and marital status. That's why such detailed personal information is not included in resume or in CV. That you have to understand. So next one, biodata provides the list of educational qualifications and experience in chronological order. Biodata provides the list of educational qualifications and experience in chronological order. If you are a master's, if you are a PG, if you are a postgraduate, so you have to mention degree, and you have to mention your PG. If you are a doctorate, so you have to mention your degree, you have to mention your PG, you have to mention your doctorate degree. Like that, biodata provides a list of educational qualifications and experience in chronological order. In a very sequence manner, you are going to mention. Sometimes in biodata, we find columns are created even from 10th class also. SSC, 10th class, first class, intermediate, so distinction, degree, first class, PG, first class, like that. So all the qualifications that you have to mention in chronological manner from low to higher, from lower to higher, from 10th class to maybe PG, from 10th class to PhD, or your experience also. Your experience also, it is going to be mentioned in chronological manner. Suppose you work in an ordinary company just for 20,000 rupees per month. So maybe after 2 years, you join in some other company. Maybe multinational MNCs, and you got a salary of 50,000 rupees per month. So maybe in the third year or maybe in the fourth year that you work in some other American-based company, there you you went on drawing 1 lakh rupee per month. Now you are appearing for another multinational company where the salary would be 2 lakhs per month. That's why you have to mention from the lower to the higher, lower to the higher, whether it may be a qualification, whether it may be experience, you have to present in a chronological manner. Next, coming to specific skills are mentioned. So specific skills are mentioned last in biodata. In biodata, your specific skills ought to be mentioned in the last, not in the first. So in the case of resume, specific skills are very important. And in curriculum vitae, qualifications are very important, and specific skills will be given so later importance. But here, specific skills are mentioned in the last in biodata. Specific skills are mentioned first in resume. You see, it's a comparison. Specific skills are mentioned first in resume. Biodata is often made in format specified by the employee. Whenever you want to present biodata, generally that format is supplied by the employer. Every company has got a separate format, and according to the format, whatever the format that is given to a candidate, and the candidate is supposed to write, candidate is supposed to fill in the blanks as the format process. That's the thing. Biodata is often made in a format specified by the employer. Biodata is mostly used in India. You may ask. Biodata is mostly used in India, Pakistan, while applying for government jobs. You know very well. So whenever you apply for any government jobs, maybe Telangana Public Service Commission, maybe for Staff Selection Commission, maybe for UPSC examinations, maybe for any services examination, maybe for banking examinations, you find a separate format is given by that organization, by that testing organization, by that TSPSC, by that APPSC, by that UPSC, by that Combined Medical Services, by that Staff Selection Committee, by that Railway Recruitment Board, by that Banking Recruitment Board. In all these sectors, they prepare separate biodata, specified biodata. Whatever the specified biodata that is given, the candidates are advised or instructed to prepare accordingly. This biodata is very, very popular in Asian countries, especially I'm talking about in India, in Pakistan, in Sri Lanka. So biodata is preferred in government jobs. Here in India also, whenever you go for any corporate jobs, when you go for Infosys, Wipro, and maybe some other companies, multinational companies, Cognizant and other companies, Microsoft companies, maybe all those in companies, you find only resumes or curriculum vitae are preferred to that of this biodata. Biodata is, they don't give this kind of idea of fill in biodata and just submit that one in the office. But only in the government offices only, we find that biodata is going to be an important thing. So, my dear friends, we have, this is the thing. So, we'll recapture once again. What do we know? What did we learn today? Know the differences among the terms resume, curriculum vitae, otherwise known as CV, biodata. Today in our video class, we are enlightened upon the differences between resume and curriculum vitae, between curriculum vitae and biodata. All these three terms look similar, but there are certain differences among these terms. So whenever you apply for American company, you prefer to take a resume. Whenever you apply for any job, for European company, you try to prefer only CV. Whenever you apply for any central government job or state government job in our country, and definitely there will be specified format, and you have to submit in that specified format, and that is called biodata. And all are in practice. Remember, my dear friends, all are in practice. The job seekers the unemployees, the young men and women who are in need of employment, who are appearing for various examinations, who are applying for jobs, they are supposed to know the subtle differences among all these terms and among these presentations, and all are in practice. So resume in European countries, CV in USA, resumes in USA, and CV in European countries, biodata in India and Pakistan. So I would like to say here, I would like to say in this PPT, so CV resumes are very popular in American country, America, so in USA, and CV is very popular in European countries, and biodata is very popular in India and Pakistan. I am so happy that I have given required knowledge about resume, CV, biodata, and I feel that you got a lot of satisfaction knowing the differences between resume and CV, and between CV and biodata, and having very, very comprehensive knowledge about these three terms. And all the best, whenever you apply for any job, you try to select. When you are applying for American-based company, you try to prefer resume. When you are applying for this European country, you try to select a CV. When you are applying for our government jobs in India, you just select biodata only. So in that way, I just express my thanks to you for attending and listening to my class. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, my dear friends. Thank you very much.